Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me for this week's Unlocking the Magic of Leadership. Now, this week we are in the final part 3 series of Control Your Chaos, and we're discussing resilience. Now, I've always had a love-hate relationship with resilience. The only thing that I knew about resilience was that was what lazy people needed. That was my feelings around resilience. And when I started building my business, I still had a lot of misconceptions around resilience, that being one of them. And I can remember I came across this painting or image, and it says, "She believed she could, so she did." Came across it at Ross or Target or something, and I was like, yes, I need that in my life because I'm building my business. I'm still working full time. I have my family. My daughter was like 3 at the time. It was nuts. And I needed that reminder. And then there came a point where I hit a brick wall and I had absolutely nothing left. And it was not a pleasant experience. And part of that unpleasantness was these ideas that I had around resilience. And I heard somebody say one time, I don't remember who it was, but they said that burnout is the curse of the strong. And I resonate with that because in that moment, what I didn't realize was that I was completely burnt out. That was having nothing left to give. It was completely burnt out. Years later, I saw a version of that, and it says she believed she could, but she was tired. So she sat on the couch and had a glass of wine. And I was like, yes, please say it a little bit louder for those in the back. But that was after I had done a lot of work around resilience. So as you're getting ready to go into the holidays and experience the joys and the frustrations around the holidays, it's important to remember that practicing resilience helps us overcome. Resilience is critical. And if we think about it, burnout is the curse of the strong. Practicing resilience allows you to continue being strong for those that need you. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to run yourself into the ground and completely have nothing left. Come January 1st, you're going to be like, oh, thank God. That's not what we're talking about. Instead, you are going to focus on one area of resilience. And that one area is self-care. And before we can talk about self-care, we have to talk about the myths around self-care. And the 3 myths that I want to talk about today. The very first myth is that self-care is selfish. By doing it, I am choosing myself over others. That is a myth. Self-care allows us to do exactly what it says, take care of ourselves, so that we can continue showing up in the way that we need to. If you think about the prime athletes and business individuals and anybody who is at the top of their game, self-care is critical. It is not an option. And that's because they know we can't continue performing at our best if we're not taking care of ourselves. We are the instrument that allows us to take care of the things that need to be taken care of. Now, the second myth is that we have to earn the right to self-care. Oh, I'll do that when I finish my task list. Oh, I'm just going to do one more thing. Oh, one more thing. In a culture of toxic productivity, we keep putting off this self-care and we see what happens. We are highly functioning individuals that are burning ourselves into the ground. We are not taking care of our brains. We are not taking care of our bodies. We are not taking care of who we are at our core. Self-care is not something that we earn the right to. It is a part of what we are already doing. And then the third myth is that self-care is optional. If you don't believe by now, then I've not done my job well. Self-care is not an option. It is a requirement. Again, going back to those that are at the top of their game, they understand that self-care is a critical component to continuing to be at the top of their game. So as you're getting ready to go into the holidays and dealing with the madness of the kids and the fur babies and the parents and the aunts and the uncles and the cousins and the friends' families and all of the things that come together, don't forget to take care of you as well. And just a couple of quick suggestions on way that you can do it. The Center for Creative Leadership calls it time tender. Taking those moments, tinder like you start a fire with tinder so that you can burn bright instead of burning out. So you take moments, 5, 10, 15 minutes throughout the day, and you take those moments for yourself. For me, it's going into my bedroom, reading my book, taking a few minutes and looking at TikTok, taking some time to just let my brain be without doing the stress of peopling, because peopling is hard. Another thing that you can do is pick up the phone and call somebody that you haven't had a conversation with in a while, somebody that you want to reconnect with. Or going back to the episode that we did the week of the Thanksgiving holiday, is practicing some gratitude. As much as you're going through, take time to be thankful for the fact that all of your people can come together. And if all your people can't come together, take time to honor the feelings that that causes as well. As we're moving through the holidays, not every moment of every day is going to be extraordinary. For some of you, it might be, and that is amazing. For many of us, it's not. We may have extraordinary moments, and then in that same exact moment, feel grief for somebody who is not there with us to experience those extraordinary moments. We may be so happy with being with our family, but this is the first year that we're doing it sober, so it's hard seeing everybody drink, and we're not. We may love spending time with our nieces and nephews while also acknowledging that we're struggling with infertility. Holidays are complex. They are ambiguous. There's a lot of really high highs and really low lows, and they may all be taking place at the same time. Resilience is not the avoidance of hard things. It's moving through hard things with intention. Be intentional about asking for what you need. Be intentional about taking those moments of time tender so you can burn bright. Be intentional about acknowledging that you need self-care. And while you may feel guilty about doing it, you still do it. I heard somebody say a long time ago that guilt is a small price to pay for happiness. I think about that every time I do self-care. Because yes, I feel guilty, but it's a small price to pay. All right, that's it for this week. Don't forget, me and my family, we're taking off the next couple of weeks. We are deconnecting from social media except for personal stuff. So I hope you have an absolutely amazing and safe couple of weeks. And don't forget to make space for those moments that may not be 100% joy. It's okay. They're a part of the human experience. They belong as well. All right, have an amazing couple of weeks. Don't forget, you got this. And I'll see you next year.